Welcome back. So glad you made it. We're going to cook up a little bit of gumbo today. But I want to talk a little bit about the ingredients as I put them all together. But the first thing and the most important thing is we have to build the foundation for our gumbo. And that is to make our roux, which is a flour and oil mixture where we fry the flour until it turns brown. So I'm going to start that right now because it does take a bit. I'm going to let this oil get hot. I don't want it blistering hot. I don't want it so hot that it's going to really burn. I want to put my flour in while it's still just warm. And our temperature on our oil is going to stay fairly low so that we don't burn our flour. And want to make sure that we're moving it all the time. So we'll be standing here, we'll be stirring and watching and stirring. And then once it starts turning brown, it will go very quickly. But I'm gonna let that heat up just a little bit and get a little bit of heat on it. I'm not wanting it like deep fry temperature. My flame's on a medium, and this burner can get really hot. But once I get it frying like I want, I can turn the exterior flame down and then just use my simmer flame in the middle to keep the flour turning and going. Some people like to use butter. I'm not a big butter fan in my roux because butter is a milk and it will break down later on as you're cooking. It can break down and then you've got a mess on your hands. I never really use olive oil, so this is one of the instances I actually do use a neutral based vegetable oil when I'm making this roux. So we'll just let it go for a minute or two, and then we're going to add our flour and start stirring. And we're just going to stand here and stir. Sometimes it can take as long as 30 minutes to build your roux. Here now I'm going to put in my flour, and we always have equal parts. So I have 1 cup of neutral vegetable oil in here warming, and I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and it's going in. And then we're going to whisk that in to our oil. And then we're just gonna let it cook and heat and cook. And this, like I said, can take up to 20-30 minutes to do. And I am doing this in a very heavy enamel coated cast iron pot. Since I'm just making a small batch for us for our dinner. And so see how it's starting to bubble now. So it's starting to fry. And it's starting to turn, and you want to just keep it moving and keep it moving, and it'll start to thicken. And now I'm going to turn my flame down even more, and then just keep it moving. And this is where we're just going to fry it and keep it going. So okay, we're probably into about 3 minutes. You can see we're still kind of blonde, pretty blonde. We got to keep going. It should go to a light nut color and then to a dark nutty color. So can you see the little flour paste building on the bottom of the pan? That is your roux. I'm starting to get there now. And now we're starting to get into that more of a darker color. Look at there. There we go. That looks so good. Definitely have to have a long handled whisk for this. Jennifer's gonna have to make me one. There we go. Now we're getting in. No slopping. Nice and slow. Nice and easy. Get ready, we're going to add in our aromatics and our seasonings, and we're going to start right into the roux. I'm going to let those flavors blossom a little bit, and then we're going to add all our other stuff and then let it come to a simmer. There we go. And we are now at 20 minutes. And now look at that smoke. It is hot. This is hot, blazing hot. I'm going to turn my fire down a little bit. Look at that nice brown roux. Isn't that gorgeous? We could go darker. Some people take it all the way to black. I think I'm just about done for me. All right, now we're gonna put in our Trinity, which is our combination of our onions, our celery, and our bell pepper, green bell pepper, very traditional Cajun Creole Southern mirepoix. That looks so good. Look at that roux. That's what we want. And it did take us 21 minutes to get there. And we are there. So I'm going in with 1 cup bell pepper, 1 cup onion, and 1 cup celery. So there's our Holy Trinity right there. All going in. Yep. I'm gonna add in my garlic in just a minute because I'm gonna press it all in. I'm gonna let that bloom for a minute. And I got 3 garlics I'm gonna press up over here. Work fast and stir. Keep stirring. Got my flame on low. All right, garlic is going in. We want to stir it in there real quick, but we don't want it to burn. Gonna add in all my seasoning. I got some thyme, 2 bay leaves, and all my seasoning going in. We're gonna stir and fry that all together. And if you wanted to add a little tomato paste, this is where you would do it. And then we're gonna slowly stir this for a minute or so. Now I won't add salt and pepper for a little while because that seasoning has salt and pepper in it. And then I've got stock. Here goes our beer, 1 beer. And this is a nice dark amber, so it's gonna make our gumbo good and dark. It's a stout. Yum. There you go. Smells wonderful. Look at that. Perfect. Now I'm going in with 6 cups of stock. And I'm still on a pretty low burner, but my pan in the roux was so hot. Bring it to a simmer. Let it simmer for about 20 minutes. I'm about to add. I have a little Worcestershire here. I think that's about a tablespoon of Worcestershire. So I think we're well blended here. So it's time to bring this back to a simmer. I'm gonna put my lid back on. We'll keep an eye on it and bring my flame up a little bit. And there we go. And now we're 26 minutes into our gumbo. that's good. Right there. Stir it up a little bit. And we're gonna let it continue to go. Got about 8 more minutes, and then we're going to add our andouille. So, see you back in a minute. So we've been simmering now for about 15 minutes, maybe a little longer. I've stirred it and skimmed it. And so now we're still simmering away, as you can see, which is perfect. That looks great. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in my okra. I'm going to add in my andouille. We're going to bring it back up to a nice little simmer, a high simmer. Let it go for another 15 minutes so the andouille can kind of release some of its, flavoring. And speaking of flavoring, one of the most important things with your gumbo is because we want it to be more Cajun or Creole, either one, whichever you choose. We use a lot of the same seasonings. My seasoning is the same, so whatever Cajun seasoning you like is what you can put in there. That was 2 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning. And it also gave it its redness. And you can make it a little more red if you want to add some more tomato paste. But it does have, my seasoning has some New Mexico style chili powder. And it has in the smoked paprika. It has in there as well cayenne. So you have those 3 red peppers in there. And then all your other seasonings, your onion, your garlic, and so forth. Dried thyme and oregano. So all of that is in the seasoning that we added extra thyme, the fresh thyme, and then the bay leaf. So it's all in there now. And now we're going to add the next layer of flavor, which will be the andouille sausage, which will break down and release its seasoning into the soup. And andouille sausage is a regional specialty of the area of New Orleans and Louisiana. And it is spicy, so that's going to add a little extra kick in there. And you can put as much as you want. I just put 2 in there. There we go. And then I'm going to add in my okra, which is very traditional. You don't have to put okra if you don't want to. Just one little package of okra, and it's still a little frozen. It's going in. And it also will help thicken the gumbo. So we're going to bring that back to a high simmer. See you back in 15 minutes. Okay, we're wrapping this gumbo up. I want to show you. It looks really good. It's kind of simmering along. I'm going to have to turn it way down here. So there we go. And since I put the okra in and the roux, and it's reduced a bit, it is now gotten a lot thicker. And now this is where we're going to, I'm going to stir it a little bit so you can see. So the okra is helps thicken it. And it is so nice and thick. Look at that. That is so wonderful. But this is what we need to taste and make any adjustments. Once we make our adjustments, we can add our shrimp. We want to turn that on down some more. There we go. It looks wonderful. So, got a little tasting bowl over here. I'm gonna put a little in there. It's very hot. Swirl it around. And we got a house full of standby tasters ready to go if I need them. Oh no, that's good. I don't think I'd do anything else to that. It's good, just like it is. Yep. Oh yeah, that's really good. I think that we could, it's got a little heat on the back end. The flavor, the thickness, the gravy part is really good. So I don't think we need to do anything. If you want a little extra salt, you can add your salt to it. But I wouldn't do anything else except for add the shrimp. So here we got 1 pound of Shrimp going in, cleaned, washed, and deveined. And this will take about 2 minutes for them to cook through. And then we will be ready to serve it up. I have some rice over here. They're already turning pink. Look at that. See? Look how fast that cooks. Let me get one out of there. Look how fast that cooks. And I can go ahead and take any of these stems out that I come across. So there's a bay leaf right there. We'll take it out. And there's another one. I only had 2 in there. And this is the thyme stems, and you could take those out if you want, but I think most people know not to eat them. So there we go. And there we go. I'm gonna let that shrimp cook, and this is ready to serve. So here you are. Some good old-fashioned gumbo with okra, andouille sausage, and shrimp. I've got some rice here. Just plain old good old rice. Put it in here. And then we're going to take a big scoop of our and put it right on top. I think I want some more sausages. So look at that. Yum. Can't go wrong with that. Let me get me a bite of rice. Mainly, I just want the broth. Silky smooth. Just the right heat. Oh, this is so good. I hope you have a good Mardi Gras. Oh my gosh, I have to go sit down and eat this. This is so good. But anyway, I hope you have a good Mardi Gras. And I'll see you next week. Bye.